Afternoon. It is Meg here from Meg Rogers Nutrition Coaching coming at you live. So let's talk about this. Are you tired of waiting for someday? You keep saying, someday I'm going to do this. Someday I'm going to insert whatever your goal is, and you're just wanting this quick fix because you just have a really busy life and you just don't have time. Is that you? So let's talk about this really quick because we see it everywhere. We're already March. It is March 2nd. We're already into the third month of the year. Like, seriously, where has this year gone? It's going by so quickly. So let's talk about this really quick. Like I said, we're seeing this everywhere. Summer is coming, which means swimsuits are already out in the stores. And, we were happy with our choices. We were happy with where our life was. And we were content where we were until we start seeing those things just flashing in our face as soon as we walk in the door. And then remembering, oh my gosh, those things are going to be on us any minute now, and I don't know about you, but, for me, that is something that used to stress me out, especially bathing suits and stuff. In summertime, just summertime alone, having the shorts and the tank tops and always trying to hide my body and stuff and just melting because I was determined to hide. If you're catching this live, drop me a hey or hit your favorite emoji and let me know that you're here. But, so what got me thinking this week about this was, work is actually sending me to Punta Cana this month. Like in 3 weeks I'm going to there, and I'm not gonna lie, mentally I was getting really anxious. I was thinking, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be surrounded by all these really fit hot bodies, and I'm over here still healing from adrenal fatigue, which wiped out my entire metabolic system. And I was dreading it. I was dreading trying on swimsuits until I finally did. And I realized, wow, I do love my body right now. And it's not where I want, but I accept where I'm at today, knowing where I'm heading and stuff. And I realized, for many women, and myself for many years, this is so hard to do. We start convincing ourselves that someday I will have the time to create the body that I want. Someday I will love the body that I see in the mirror. And someday I will have the willpower. And someday my life won't be as busy as it is today. Someday when I have all this confidence, I'll be able to rock any outfit I choose. We just tell ourselves that someday. And how many of those statements have you ever said to yourself? Which one of those statements are you saying? One of the biggest scams out there is buy this and it's going to help you fix yourself in 30 days. And quick fixes, they're everywhere that we look. And I don't know about you, but I would always tell myself that right there, that is what I've been missing, completely blind to the fact that no quick fixes ever worked in the past. And I'd never been able to maintain before. And hey, Michelle. So for the record, even if you did something and you did amazing and you lost 10 pounds or 50 pounds, if you gained it back, it was not a success. I truly believed I'd have the willpower this time to insert whatever this thing was work. And there were so many things that I would choose to bury my head in the sand about. Michelle says, someday is now. Exactly, it is today. Hey, Ariel. My health was terrible for so many years. I was on daily migraine medication. I was carrying emergency medication with me everywhere I went, not to mention my inhalers. I had 2 of them. I had my daily inhaler. I had my rescue inhaler. My purse was loaded. I had inhalers. My health was so bad. I had extra migraine medication all throughout the house, just in case I was somewhere where I needed it really quick. I had inhalers on every floor of our house, in all the rooms that I was in the most in case I needed that emergency. It was in my purse. It was one in the car. I freaking had this stuff everywhere. And, it was limiting me to the point where, just going for a walk was too much. I would get so winded going for a walk that I'd need to hit my inhaler. Seriously, something's wrong when that's bad. But I wanted quick fixes. You don't understand. I am an all or nothing girl. And the thought of slow progress and baby steps, it just sounds so torturous. Do you know how long it would take me to have success with baby steps? It was just never going to happen. This is what I would tell myself. And it was because of that broken mindset that I stayed stuck in pretty much every aspect of my life until my 30s. Like, it wasn't until my 30s that I finally got my crap together. And it wasn't because I was in my 30s and I was finally, more confident and stuff. It was because I finally started taking the steps on faith of heading in the direction where I needed to be headed and actually putting in the work. It wasn't until I started putting in the work. I was the hamster on the wheel, spinning and hard as I could and just going faster and faster just to stay in place. That's how I was for most of my life. Is that you too? Like, I work with women, it doesn't matter if they're in their 30s, their 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. They are still that hamster on the wheel, spinning and not getting anywhere, nothing to show for it, and it's not until we start working together that now guess what? Now they're having success because they're following the simple steps. Our newest member, I haven't shared her name publicly, but behind the scenes, everybody knows who she is in our groups because she is like just so excited and just full of life and just always blowing me up. Like, look what I got, look what I did, and I'm like, share that with the ladies. And I just love it. It is so intoxicating, honestly, to be surrounded by people that are like shooting for more and reaching for more. But I shared her photos the other day, and she had to mentally slow down to unteach herself the lies that she was told and learn what I was teaching. And she's like me. She's very visual. She had to see the difference to understand, okay, well, why am I eating so much food? I feel like I'm eating a lot of food. I'm like, yeah, you are. And she's like, but aren't I going to gain weight? Like, this doesn't make sense. If I'm eating more, I'm going to weigh more. And as you can see from her photos, in just 10 days, she is down 9.5 inches and 7 pounds. Like, it's insane. She's not doing anything insane. She's actually doing like things to before she was doing things to extremes. She's just now learning how to take her everyday food, make it work for her, and adding in 30 minutes of fitness. That's it. Before, she was working out 2 hours a day, eating 1,200 calories a day, and she didn't know anything about, what calories truly were. Hey, Lori. She was just like, okay, well, if this fits in my macros, I'm going to eat it, So if it was chips, well, she just deducted that from what her daily intake said that she needed, and she didn't know about food quality. Just from changing that, like I said, she's dropped 9.5 inches and 7 pounds. Hey, Andrea. So I talk to moms who have little kids, sharing how exhausted, tired, and struggling with self-love they are. But once we start talking about the baby steps to fix it, and fix it, their seasons of life, they panic and they run. And the moms who have teenagers, honestly, they do the same thing. Instead, now they use their kids as an excuse. Oh, I'm too busy with kids. Oh, I'm too busy chauffeuring them. Oh, I'm too busy with sports. Oh my gosh. I get it. Because now it's become real, and oh my gosh, now I have to change my habits that actually will hopefully overrule the bad ones. I actually have to commit. I actually have to put in the work. Guess what? You're running away, you're ghosting, you're teaching, or you're avoiding is keeping you from where you want to be. Like, those are habits that you created, which also means that you can break them. But your habit to self-sabotage, that's a habit you created. Your habit to work for what you want, that's a habit that you created. Everything in your life right now is a habit. Hey, Rachel. So, whether those habits are serving you or whether those habits are holding you back in life from giving you the life that you truly want, those are habits that you created, and those are also habits you can change. We all want to feel better. We all want change, but we've also gotten comfortable feeling miserable, and the fear of disappointment keeps us held back. We are so already wrapped up, a lot of us, in that warm, fuzzy blanket of disappointment that we can't risk trying to succeed because that disappointment will be so much worse. So we take steps we know won't work to support that lie. We okay, well, if it just doesn't work for people like us. So we go half in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and we're just like, oh yeah, that stuff doesn't work for people like us. Like, no, you're just not committed. You're just half-assing it so that you can make yourself feel better about trying, when in reality, you didn't do anything. It's not that it doesn't work for people like you. It's not that it's not the right season of life for you. Those are just excuses that you're using to hold yourself down in life. Those are excuses that you created. For those who think, well, I had a baby, there's just no way in this season of life. You guys, that is a lie. My first 3 pregnancies and my kids, I felt the exact same way, which is how I can recognize it in others. When God led me on this path, It was before I got pregnant with Gabriella. And then I got pregnant with Gabriella. And depending on when you found me, y'all have witnessed me showing from the day that I announced that I was pregnant with Gabriella to the day that I worked out up until the night before I gave birth and they induced me to, you followed me after her. And guess what? I was still coaching. I was still working with my clients. I was still here on this page where those of you who are not my clients get to witness the whole 6 weeks that I was recovering. Like, I never missed a day because I had a purpose. Like, I was not going to create excuses why I couldn't do it. Michelle, yes, victims of our own BS excuses. Yeah, that's exactly it. Those steps that I've created have allowed me to fully embrace and love this insane journey. And for the first time, I can honestly say I love my body postpartum after 4 kids most of the time. Most of the time. I'm not going to blow smoke up your ass and say I love it all the time, because there are some days, especially like PMS, where I'm just like, oh my gosh, I feel so fugly. Like, oh my gosh, there are those days. And when it does happen, I have to call out those lies specifically and be like, okay, where did this lie come from? Did Jesus put that on your heart? And then replace it with truth. Guess what? I still have to do that too. There are still days I don't love my body. But creating these habits I teach have saved my health, allowing me to give more of myself to my family. And, if waiting until your kids are bigger, guess what? It's an excuse. You just don't want it. End of story. If you truly want it, you're not going to create an excuse. You're going to make it happen. Someday doesn't exist. If you're telling yourself someday I will have time, someday when your kids are bigger, here's the sobering news is someday doesn't exist. And it never has, and it never will. There is no Sunday. There's only today. And when tomorrow comes, it'll just be another today. And so in the next day, there's never anything but today, so your ship, so to speak, is not coming because it's already docked in here and waiting for you. Hey, Carrie, you already have the time. You already have the skills, confidence, and money. You have everything that you need. You already have everything that you need to achieve what you want. God has already brought those people into your life that can help you. God has already led you to the people that can help you. You just can't see it because you choose not to. And you have to be the one to reach out and actually go for it. You have to actually put in the work. Why? Because when you are looking in the wrong places right now, most likely, you're looking for the quick fixes, for the massive breakthroughs, and looking for that winning lottery ticket in the game where there is not a lottery. Hey, Lauren, but life isn't a lottery. Success is not some random accident. It takes planting, it takes cultivating so that you can harvest. You can't skip over that middle part and expect a big breakthrough. So today, are you going to say like day 1 or one day? That is totally your choice, your call on what to do. And as a nutritionist and a mindset coach, my coaching is definitely not for those who want fast results that are not going to last. And my coaching is definitely not for those that can't handle me being straightforward. Like, if you're BSing yourself, I'm going to lovingly point it out. I'm not going to be an asshole about it, but I am going to point it out. Like, hey, listen, you're holding yourself back right here. Like, you told me you wanted this, but then you went and did this. And then you told me you couldn't do that because of this. Like, come on. Let's get real here. And a lot of times, guess what? I'm blind to my own BS too. We are all victims of our own BS, which is why we need community. Those people who care more about our growth than our comfort. But it is for those who want to learn how to make those small shifts to their day and build massive success in their life long term. And I work best with those who are ready to learn and leave the excuses at the door. If that's you, I want to hear from you. Like, I am passionate about what I do and surrounding myself with the doers. If you're the excuse person, guess what? I will probably piss you off within the first couple times of talking together. But all right, guys, I am off because I am literally about to go live talking about nutrition plateaus and how to overcome the most basic obstacles that we come up against when it comes to nutrition in my nutrition member app community. And oh my gosh, I'm so tongue-tied today. It's ridiculous. It's a Monday, but I'm excited to hear from those who are ready. If that's you, message me or comment below and I will reach out to you. But all right, guys, get out there and make it awesome.